recording. And for start, I have prepared a short presentation about the German tour operators. I don't know if all of you are familiar with the product of the German tour operators. It is an alternative product of our hotel accommodations in GoGlobal. There is competitive rates for some of the destinations. It's a big amount of destinations and different types of accommodation. And in the system, we have more than 100 suppliers in one single platform, 100 German tour operators, not suppliers like Expedia and GTA, only German tour operators. Here are some of the suppliers that we have. The most popular are TUI, DERTOUR, Alltours, Myers, ETS, etc. This is only a small part of all the suppliers that we have in the German platform. And here are the types of the products that we offer. The first type is a package. It's a hotel plus transfer plus flight from or to Germany. This is very nice for the East Coast or for Caribbean or for people that are living in Germany. It's very nice rates there. We can offer also only hotel accommodation or only flights. We have also apartments and vacation homes. We have also additional products directly from the German suppliers, excursions and transfers that we can add to the hotel accommodation. And we offer also insurance. And the destinations that we have from the German supplier are ski holidays, Disney hotels, and the most important part and most interesting parts are the exotic destinations like Maldives, Caribbean, Bahamas, etc., Bali, Phuket, and how the system works. I will show you. All of you have this button in the admin panel of New Booking V3 German tour operators. And here is the white label of the German suppliers. The most important thing here is that we cannot book, we can only search, compare rates, available rates, and after that the whole process is offline. Our agencies make a print screen, for example, send us, we check in the reservation system of the German suppliers again if it's available or not, and after that we make the booking directly in the system of the German suppliers. Okay, I'm gonna again mute you all to avoid the noise. So here we have hotels. If we click here, we can see the package holidays with the flights from Germany and only flights from Germany. I'm going to search only for hotel. For example, Maldives. You can search here by region or by hotel directly, just like in our system in GoGlobal. We can choose directly a hotel or we can choose a region. Here we have the travel period and duration. We can select dates And here is the duration. If I leave like here, like we have by default, here we have up to 4 days. So the system gonna search for up to 4 days of accommodation. If we need to check for specific dates, so this is the period from 13 to 20 of October, and we want 7 nights, we need to choose exactly, but not nights, 7 days. In the German system is the opposite. Not nights, we can choose only dates. It's not the last thing, not days. If we choose the last, I will show you. There is no available offers. It's strange. It's German. No results. So we need to choose not the last and before that. So if we want 7 nights, we choose 7 days. This is tricky, and I show it, this one to every single agent, because if they don't know this, yeah, Vladimir. Strange is German. That, yeah, for me the German logic is completely opposite to my logic. So that's why I'm saying this. So 7 days. We choose adults and children with the plus and the minus. We choose the age of the child, and we click on refresh because we have choose before that other thing. So here we have a filters category is now is any. If I choose 4 stars, the system gonna show minimum 4 stars. But for applying this filter, we need to click every time of apply. So now we have minimum 4 stars hotel. I'm gonna choose all inclusive. Again, apply filter. And here we have all the results from all these for these dates. For 2 adults and 1 child, minimum 4 stars hotels, all inclusive only. Now we can check, we can add to favorites with the heart here. Here is the last viewed one for previous searches. And I choose, for example, Sun Island Resort and Spa. Here the hotel info. How many children? I'm gonna check. The system allows up to 5 children, Vladimira. Okay, and here is the hotel infos. Here are all the suppliers that offer this hotel for these dates. And here is the hotel info for every single supplier. So when I click on their tour, I will see the hotel information directly from their tour. Not accommodation, sorry, hotel info directly from their tour. I didn't see the comment. You can always unmute yourself, guys, from click on the microphone. But for the same rule of before, not more than four children. Just a second, I'm gonna go in the beginning. It's 5 in the beginning. And adults up to 6. I don't know if there are any results of this amount of people in one room, because the system searches only for one room. But allow to search for more than. Okay, I'm gonna select again the dates, 7 dates, and here is the detail search, all inclusive and minimum 4 stars hotel. So, for example, Paradise Island Resort and Spa. This is the price with commission for one person. It's per person, not per room. When we click on next, we can see all the offers from different suppliers, different types of accommodation, and we can check if it's available or not. And if it's available, we can see the total price for the whole room, for the whole amount of people that we have selected. And after that, we can click on book. But there is no real reservation. It's not a booking. It comes to our email address. I'm going to show you how it looks when we fill all these things, or the agent fill these things. We can we can click on book, and then comes a request to our email. Looks like this. Here is the name of the agent. Thank you for booking with us. Booking number, but this is not a real booking number. We have stopped this feature for booking because it's chargeable. There are penalties. I'm going to show you what are the penalties, and because of the penalties, we prefer to make the booking, not the agency. So here is the information and the contact details from the agent. And we contact directly the agent to tell what are the conditions to the booking, and make an optional booking where we can do this, or we make a non-refundable booking if the agency wants it. So,
Juliana, can I ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
Is there anywhere where we can see what the cancellation policy is prior to having to actually make the booking request and wait to know what the conditions are?
The conditions always are the same, and I'm going to show you in the next slide of my presentation. Okay. Good question. It is important, but the conditions of the German tour operators are always the same and are like this. If you have more than 30 days before the accommodation, we can make an optional booking for 3 working days. That means with free cancellation. After the booking, we receive a regional voucher. This is important part because, Christina, may I mute you? Yeah, thanks. This is important because you don't need to send the voucher directly from GoGlobal system. It's need to wait to the original voucher from the supplier. And the conditions with the penalties are just like this. Up to 30 days before the accommodations, 30% of the total booking amount. From 30 to 16 days before the accommodation, 50%. From 16 to 8 days before the accommodation, 80%. From 8 to 3 days before the accommodation, 95%, and up to 3 days before the accommodation, non-refundable reservations. If you need to change the name, you have a penalty, 30 euro. This is for all the suppliers. These are the conditions, and you can give to the agents, or you can tell them that these are all the conditions for penalties. And if there is something specific in one specific reservation, there in the booking system of the German tour Touroperators is Bistro or Iris or Vanessa, where we make the bookings. There is all the booking terms and conditions. Before the booking, we can check them. Christina, any other questions regarding the conditions? I guess no. If you have, please ask. But generally, this is the process. We can search, we can compare rates from different suppliers for every hotel. Here for this hotel, Paradise Island Resort and Spa, we have 6 pages for these dates. Different type of accommodation, different meal type, and different suppliers. With, again, I say this is a commissionable fare, so here is the total amount that the passenger needs to pay. So here you have different commissions from the different suppliers.
I have a question, sorry.
Yeah?
If we need to book more rooms, can we rely on the fact that there are many suppliers, meaning that we should have availability, or we can find, as in GoGlobal, a room under 2 suppliers, meaning that there's availability only for 1 room, but at the same time it can be solved either by Thomas Cook or Neckermann?
We can book from the different suppliers, but we can also check if with this price we have more than 1 room in Neckermann. So to book through 1 supplier.
I see.
We can do it for both ways.
And this can only be done in back office, right? Not
Yes,
here.
in the other system.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Welcome. Any other question? I know it's a little bit different from that you used to have in GoGlobal, but the prices are very good for some destinations. For Maldives, always the transfer is included in the price with German tour operators. So it is another product that you can provide to your agents. Do you have any other questions?
So far, no, it's okay.
Okay. For final, I have prepared one quick presentation regarding our way to do the webinars. I say our way because I think there is no right or wrong way to do a good webinar to your agents. You know them good, so you know how to reach them, how to get their attention. What we do before starting a webinar. We choose the correct target group. For example, if we gonna make a webinar for German suppliers, our target group from the agents are agencies that are making leisure destinations, leisure bookings, not corporate clients. This is only an example. What is the target group? We create an invitation and send by email. I can show you one of our campaigns. We have a new cruise site, so we made a webinar. It's in Bulgarian, but the main point is that always we have here is the information for the topic of the webinar. And here are the instructions how to join the webinar. Because not all of the people knows what webinar is, what is WebEx, how to join. So always we have an instructions in the email with link, the same link that you received to join. We create this link here in the WebEx system. Here are all the meetings that we have. Here we create meeting, and we have a link that we copy and paste in the email to the agencies. Here the sample of instructions that we give to the agents how to join, and they always ask questions that if they need to register, why the button join is not active, and here are the instructions that we give to them. At what time, the link, where is the button join. We make these instructions because of the questions in the beginning. So we started with the presentations 2 years ago, and it was very difficult for us in the beginning because everybody asked if they need to visit our office to join the presentation, if they need to register in WebEx, if they need to pay something, etc. So many questions, and we made these instructions to provide questions in future. And here are our tips for the best webinar. Find a quiet room and good microphone, because it's very difficult to hear if there is a noise around you. Mute the participants, that's the same reason, to avoid the noise. Ask them to turn off their cameras. It is very difficult with camera, because if any of you is turning on your camera, here is your face. And it is very difficult to see who to mute or to see who is speaking. This is just advice to ask them to turn off their cameras. So you can tell them that they can unmute themselves or write their questions in the chat. Exactly that you are doing right now. Always record the meeting, because you can send to the agencies that cannot join at this time. You can send them after that. And be prepared for technical bugs. Why I'm saying this? Because sometimes, the system goes down. For some destinations, there are no results. I always check and choose what to show to the audience before the presentations. So if I want to show Maldives, for example, before the presentation, I check if it's everything okay with these destinations, with the hotels, is there availability, are the filters working right, and because it's really hard if something go wrong during the presentations. And always leave time for questions. The agents always have questions and want to ask them. It's better if you leave them to ask during the after the presentation, not during the presentations, because if there are, for example, in my last presentation, we have almost 90 people from different agencies. They don't know them. They are from different cities. If they interrupt me all the time, I cannot show anything. So I leave the question for the end of the presentations. And my tip is to always have an assistant. What this means, one of my colleagues always join the presentation. I make her host, just with the right click and change role. Now I'm presenter and host, and I always can make someone else host. So I can only present, and my assistant is, I'm just saying like this, but the other guy can mute the audience to check the questions in the chat, to answer the questions in the chat, to help them to join, to call them by telephone, to help them to hear us, because the most part of the agencies that is her first time joining WebEx, they don't know how to use their microphone, they don't hear anything. So Lily is my colleague. She always join the meetings and help me to help the agencies to join. And here are my contact details. You can always reach me in case of questions regarding German tour operators, regarding webinars if you start doing in your market, so I can help you with advices. And thank you for the attention. And if you have any questions, you can ask me now or later or wherever you prefer.
Can you hear me, Stiliana?
Yeah, hi.
No, sorry, I'm having a double, and I'm mute. One on my headset and the computer one. Got a question. Okay, regarding to the German TO.
Yeah.
When we're talking, give it to the agents. You're talking about our actual clients, correct?
Yeah, the agencies that are working with you.
Okay, because that will be interesting in one side and confusing on another side, because we will need to, all the information that you gave us, if you can send it to us, it would be brilliant. Explain to them exactly how does it work. So we're going to have to do a few tests ourselves, I think, before we even go ahead
Yeah,
and
of
offer
course.
anything. And I suppose that we need to ask IT to connect them, to have the access to the German TO.
Yeah, you have access here.
Hmm. Yeah,
All
we
the
do, but
handling
not the
offices.
clients.
Yeah, and for start, just check the system. I will send you this presentation that you mean, right?
Hmm.
This
Yeah,
information
yeah.
you need. Yeah, I'm gonna send you, no problem. This presentation it's very short. It's but for start is good. So I will send you. Just make some tests here in the German TO.
Hmm.
If you have any questions, ask me. And
Hmm.
after that, if you want to turn, we have this button for all our agencies, for all of our clients. It's active.
Hmm.
I think I can show you just to log out and log in with one of our demos. Just if I know the password, of course. Yeah, here it is. The same button, the same
Hmm.
label.
Okay.
All of our agencies have it here. So if you want to have this button for some of your clients,
Hmm.
for some of your agencies, you can ask the IT, and I
Yeah, they
think
will
there is
turn
no
it on.
problem to add it.
Okay, once they do this first request, okay, when they book it, the email comes to us. That's correct.
Yeah,
Okay, the email
this
comes to us,
email.
and then we'll do it offline with.
Yes.
Okay, okay,
This
perfect.
is again with this question from Yanya. How ops will done for German tools? Yes, same question from Vladimir and from Yanya. So, if you have in your operations someone who have worked with Bistro or some other system of the German tour operators, it will be easy for us to give an access and to teach how to work with it.
That would be great, honestly.
Who is speaking?
Gabi.
Okay, Gabi, you have worked with German tour operators, right?
Yes, yes.
So we can arrange a call with our operations because I'm good only with the label. Honestly, I cannot make a reservation in Bistro or in some of the other booking systems. So write me, and
Yes.
I'm gonna see how we can arrange it.
Yes, that would be perfect. And we will talk then about access to bistro as well.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
We're gonna talk with Javi how
Yes.
to arrange and how to do it with the accesses and profiles.
Yes.
But in every operation office, I think if there is someone who is a little bit more familiar with the product and the system, we can
Yes.
start with these people. After that, if someone wants to do the reservation by himself, we're gonna teach them too.
Mhm. Mhm.
It will be more easy.
Yes, of course. Perfect.
I think you see the question from Bernard. Do I need to write it? Could you give us some steps how to create a webinar, please? Also, I have seen that the hotel info is in German. Can it be changed to another language? Uh, so, again, the Germans and their logic and their systems. Um, the last version, it always was on German. Now some of the things are in German, some of the things are in English. Uh, so here we can choose the language of the system, but not the hotel info. So where the hotel info is translated, you can see it in the system, but if it's not, the most of the information is not translated. So you need to, of what I'm writing, um, you need to translate it in your language. Uh, Yohai has a question. The booking will be in the booking system or somewhere else. The booking are made in the system of the German tour operators, and after that we create an instant booking with Go number in GoGlobal system. Cool to have a webinar from one of the expertise. Since, for example, in our office we do not have anyone familiar with Bistro German tour operation. Yes, we can do this. We can again talk to Javi to ask him, I guess, how we can do this. I guess one webinar for those who are familiar with Bistro or any other reservation system, and one webinar for those who are not so familiar to basic steps, I guess. But we gonna discuss, and for our side, I can tell that we can do anything for you and to teach you. So just need to arrange it. Yeah, I just going to say that I don't understand what you're saying, Yokai, but in English is good. Uh, yes, two bookings, one in Bistro, and after that create one with instant booking in GoGlobal with Go number, so the agency can see their reservation. But this only for info. The real reservation is in Bistro, for example. No, I don't want to forget about the needed steps. Just want to answer to all the questions for the German tour operators. If you don't have any other question for the German tour operators, I'm gonna tell the basic steps for create the webinar. So the first step is to log in the Cisco WebEx. We have a registration. We can give you our registration, or I don't know how we're gonna arrange this. GM, I guess, with our registration, or we're gonna think about it, how to do it. But yet this is payable. We have paid for all the on a monthly basis for whole the year, but you can use our. It's no reason to pay for every office. There is no limit for webinars to create them. The only thing is that need to check if someone from the other office has a webinar at the same time. But I guess this is easy thing, so you can choose our registration. So we log in as a host because now I am Premier Tours the host, but if you are the host, you can log in here. Here are all the scheduled meetings. If you want to create, just to click on schedule and choose the date and time. You can invite people from here, but this is when you want to invite specific clients. What I do is to schedule the meeting here. I choose to record this meeting all the time. But if you forget to click on record, this is to automatic start of the record. It's not permitted. If you want to record, you can click on the recorder to record the meeting. So again, here in home, this is our future webinars. When you click on some of the meetings, here more information is the meeting URL. This is the link that the agencies need to click and to follow to join the meeting. And when is the day and the time for the webinar, you need to log in the system and to click on start. So after you click on start, the button join that you have seen already will be active, and the people can join the meeting. So the first step is to create this link, to copy this link, and to paste it in the email that you're gonna send to your clients. Like I have shown already, I do this through Constant Contact. This is our system for newsletters.
Hello, do you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, hi. I'm Liliana. Liliana has a technical issue with the computer at the moment, and she will get back in a minute. Could you please wait, please?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay, thank you very much. She will be here in a minute. Thank you for waiting. She's on the right way to join again. Thank you for waiting.
Hi, I'm back. Do you hear me? Please say yes. Sorry, like I said, there are always some technical issues, but now I'm here. So, again, I'm sharing my screen. And like I said, you need to create the link for the webinar. And after that, create a newsletter, for example, to send to all the clients that you want to invite. For example, if you want to show some features in the hotel accommodation system, you can invite all of your agents. I think we have a limit for 100 people, but I guess we are always inviting more, double more, or 300, because the percent of the people that gonna join is not so many. In the beginning, when we started with the webinars 2 years ago, the first webinar, it was the most difficult one, because no one in our market knows what a webinar is. We need to call every single agent and to explain how to join. So my advice is to send not only one invitation, two or three newsletters. For example, if the webinar is on 19th of June, you can start 1 week after, or 1 week before the presentation, and in 3 days send another reminder. The important part of the invitation is the subject. To now everybody from our agencies knows what webinar is, but for start we started with online presentations, because webinar is not so familiar word, and my advice in the beginning is to use online presentation. Just a tip from me. So first step, create a link. Second step, send the link to the clients, to the agencies. And again, my advice is to call the clients that are most important. So the biggest client, to make sure that they have received the invitation, to invite them personal. Just open my presentation with the tips. I can send you also this PowerPoint if you want, with the sample of the instructions. Like I said, there is no right and wrong way to do webinar. I just show you our way, and it's your work to choose what steps from ours you're gonna follow and what not, and to create your own style. Just like for the presentations in the sales meeting. Every presentation was different from the others, so this is your personal style. The same is with the webinars. So we have we have sent the invitation. We have called the most important of them. Again, my first webinar, I sent 3 or 4 emails with invitation, and I have called to 100 agencies to invite them personal, and in fact, I had only 20 participants on my first presentation, but it was good for start. Now, 2 years later, all the agencies know about the webinars that we have and ask when we gonna have another one. So in the beginning is hard, but after that it's a little bit more easy for you to train the agencies, to teach them, and to our next presentation gonna be about the product of the car rentals, not only the system, but how to offer what the clients need to give on the spot, like credit card, conditions from the car rental policies, and etc. We choose this topic because our agencies told us we don't sell so many car rentals because we don't know the product. And we say, why not? We're gonna make a webinar for car rental product. So this is the basic steps. Just to choose the audience, to select an interesting topic, to show them the most important part of the system, if you show the system. So if there is a topic like German tour operators, I prepare a presentation. If I only want to show something on the system, it's only a call with training. So this is there is no more steps, only to send the invitation, to explain to the people how to join, because there is always question for registrations, for not active join button, etc. And like I said, always do the presentation not alone, but for example with one assistant or 2 who gonna call to the clients to explain how they can hear you better, to turn on their headphones, and to explain them how to join. Because when we have a webinar, the agencies have received the email, but don't know how to log in. And if the webinar starts at 11 a.m., they start to calling with questions, and you need people to answer these calls. Do you have any question about the webinars? Thanks, Vladimir. Here are all the settings that you can. Oh, Mike has a question. Just a second. I can about the login details. I need to check with Javier, but you can use our login details because it's payable. So I'm gonna check with Javier, and I guess Guillaume gonna send you more information about it. Oops. So here with the right button, you can Someone has turned on his camera, I guess. That's why it looks like this. But with the right button, you can mute all the participants, so to avoid the noise. And here you can stop sharing your screen. And again, share your screen. Here is the chat. And that's it, I guess. After the end of the meeting, we download the record from the system. It's here in WebEx. Here all in files, all the records. We download the records, upload in YouTube, and to send it to our agencies like personal email or like newsletter. Thank you too. Thank you for the attention. If you have any other questions, like I said, these are my contact details. You can reach me.
We can always reach you. Don't worry.
And keep in touch. Bye to everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Deci, dacă nu putem să facem rezervări,